Welcome, everyone, to Feng Shui Everyday.
Hi, I'm Kathryn. This is Donna, and we're here to help you find solutions to some of your problems so you can create a life you love. And we have a question today, Donna.
Yes, we do. So one of our listeners wrote in to say the question of what kind of artwork should I have in the office? Is there different rules for artwork, or what would be artwork that would lead to success?
Wow, that's an awesome one. And I know so many people have stuff in their house and then they just don't want to put it in a box. They just hang it up anywhere. Other people accept gifts of artwork, and you really have to choose something that's going to resonate with what's happening in your office or your bedroom or wherever. And today I think we're going to talk about just the office, and we've got some stories to share with you. Donna?
Yeah. Well, I've had some experience with this. I do remember way back, I had a client who was just overrun with so much stuff to do. He was just going at full bore. And he said, I want a calmer office. And when I went in, he had pictures on all four walls of fighter jets in flight. And this was just so much energy, just spinning around him all the time. And so we changed it out for something more peaceful. We still wanted the movement. So we did ships that were sailing, but not in rough waters, in very smooth waters. And so he still had movement, and he said things calmed down, and it just took a few days and he felt calmer.
Yeah. Well, water does that too, right? It gives you that calming element as well. I know I've heard of I got a story from another Feng Shui consultant in Calgary that was telling me about her experience just shortly. And she was called into a pharmaceutical office. And every once in a while, they would have a big meeting in one of the meeting rooms and invite all the traveling salespeople into for the quarter meeting or whatever. And they would all end up in fist fights. There was so much testosterone in that room. And these people were out of control. So it's like, this is funny. We bring you in from the rural area and you always fight. And my friend, this is Janelle, had gone in there. And again, you don't get all the information in the phone call. You really do have to go to the office and see what's going on. And on the walls there, they had a lot of sports memorabilia all over the place. And now whether it be teams of and rival teams, I don't know if it was hockey or basketball or baseball, whatever it could be. But I guess these people from the rural areas were coming in and just getting all heated up about the playoffs or whatever. And so all they did was they changed some calmer art, just like you were talking about there. I'm not sure exactly what they ended up with, but all of a sudden the fist fight stopped and they could be productive once again. So it's funny how that happens. What's on your walls could support or sabotage what's going on in the room.
So true. Yeah. I had a client who she liked more like basic arts. And so she had these pictures of like women kind of toiling in the fields, all in her office. But she'd come to me and said, I'm working too hard. And so, but these women were, like doing this backbreaking work of harvesting, without machinery and things like that. And so that energy, subconsciously was filtering into her because she's, after a while, of course, the art recedes to the background, but it still has that message.
That pulse.
And so, of course, we traded that out for something that would be much easier. And so again, something that is more of a landscape, I think, is always helpful. And we did a very abundant landscape where all you had to do was reach up and pick an apple, and then you would have the food. You didn't have to do all this backbreaking work.
That is just so interesting. And sometimes when I'm in somebody's house, I just switch pictures. I don't have to just take them down and forget about them. Just put them in a different area, the areas that need a little bit more calming and a little bit more energy. And so that seems to work out really, really well. You got anything else to add about choosing?
Well,
pictures?
I think that switching the pictures is also really good too, because you may not have a seasonal business, but you might be affected by the seasons and things like that. Perhaps, now that it's spring, maybe you want to be out more. And so putting up springtime pictures could help you stay in the office and get your work done. But also though, in quieter times, maybe it's tax season and, we're past that now, but, where you really have to work and things like that, maybe have something, even an abstract that has more calming, more meditative colors. And that would be, like earth tones and things that are more muted, or that feel very grounded.
Softer lines, like softer lines. Yeah.
Softer lines. Yeah. And more horizontal lines, because that would be, more of this energy of settling down versus things that are shooting upward if you're doing abstract art.
Mm-hmm. Now, I had a question about someone was reading a book and they talked about putting a fish tank in the office. So that's not wall stuff, but you could put pictures of koi fish or fish on the walls. What do you think of that?
Oh, I like that idea because I think that it's quite calming. And of course, fish are related to abundance in Feng Shui. Plus, there's such a myriad of different ways you could depict the fish, anything from the abstract to a photograph, depending on your taste. So I love the idea of pictures of fish in the office, especially to bring abundance.
Super. Well, that kind of wraps things up a bit. It looks like you've got some choices to make. Donna, take it home.
Well, I think that it's really important to decide what your goal is in the office and then ask yourself, is the picture on the wall supporting that, or is it in some way countering that energy? And then from there, it's pretty easy to go find something that is going to be in harmony with what you're looking for.
Absolutely.
And of course, if you have a question for us, make sure that you contact us through our website. What's your website, Kathryn?
KathrynWilking.com. Nice and easy. And yours?
And mine is fengshuiforum.com.
Great. Thanks for joining us for Feng Shui Everyday. We'll see you next week. Ciao, ciao,
Bye,
ciao.
everyone.